What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and after all of these years of fighting, all these years of arguing with people who say the Snyder Cut doesn't exist, the Snyder Cut will never happen, the Snyder Cut will never see the light of day, Warner Brothers would never let that happen, well today, May 20th, 2020 is the day that I can say go F yourselves. It is happening. We have heard it from the man himself, we have heard it from Warner Brothers, we've heard it from HBO Max where it will be seen, we've heard it from everyone. It is happening. The Snyder Cut is coming to HBO Max in 2021. And listen, if you don't like these movies, that's fine. You have an opinion. I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things. If you don't like these movies, whatever. But if you're still out there, if you're upset that this is being released, if you're still hating just by the fact that it's being released, eat shit. Go fuck yourself. Let's see from the man himself right here, Zack Snyder. This is real. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut at HBO Max. And you see Zack Snyder's Justice League logo. And I really wanted to show you guys our reactions. So I did a live stream right here with Lethal Lightning, Steph from My Nerdy Home, and there's me, and the president, Abu Nas. We're all watching Vero, this Man of Steel live stream with Zack Snyder, because we wanted to hear. We heard so many rumors about an announcement happening. Henry Cavill shows up. You can see Henry Cavill right here shows up to talk about Man of Steel. All these fans that have questions. And finally, Daniela cares. And you can't see her. Let me show her face. She's all the way in the bottom right. She asked the question that's on everyone's mind. When will we see the Snyder Cut? They beat her on the bush a little bit. I was like, no, there's no way. It has to happen. And then I had myself feeling, no, I'm going to have to wait. Like, they're not going to announce it. It's not ready to announce. It's not going to happen. But then Zack Snyder, I should never have had any doubt in the man, because he goes and does this.
I have this. I don't know if this is helpful. See that?
We won! The game's over!
After all these years, since 2017, talking to people, arguing about this, defending this film, defending Zack Snyder, while Zack Snyder has gone out there and been a better man than I could ever be. Never was hostile, always was patient, always was kind, always was supportive to fans who were supporting him. That's why Hollywood doesn't like this dude, because people like him. He is not an elitist like so many of these disgusting pukes in Hollywood. Zack Snyder is a real dude. He would never say something like what I just said. Here, let's let it play a little while longer.
Ah! Woo! That's what I'm talking about, bitches! Woo!
Right here.
Every single one of you motherfuckers who said it wasn't happening, go fuck yourself.
Right, Zack Snyder would never say that because he is a much better man than I could ever be. You can see my specific reaction right here. Lost
See that?
I am like a little child because I am so freaking excited for this. Coming to HBO Max in 2021 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. I have an article I want to talk about once I'm a little more calm. But I mean, I'm not the only one who's really excited. Look at Jason Momoa.
You see that shit? You see that shit? You put it out there. You believe that? Releasing the Snyder Cut? HBO Max, man, I can't believe it. It's happening, finally. Release the Snyder Cut. Give it to me! Release.
Jason Momoa, and that was from Lost Jedi. Lost Jedi did a couple of those clips. Lyndon Hall also did a couple of those clips, so shout out to both of those guys. But I wanted to talk about this article right here, coming from Hollywood Reporter, Heat Vision. It will be an entirely new thing. Zack Snyder's 20 million plus Justice League cut plans revealed. The 20 million is a little bit of a stretch. We don't know how much money it's going to take. That is from an estimate if it were to be released in theaters, but of course it's not. It's being released on HBO Max. So that is, we're going to see how much it will actually cost to do what Zack Snyder wants to do. Let's read this article. HBO Max will debut the project in 2021, possibly in a 4-hour director's cut or in 6 TV-style chapters, as the Helmer gets the gang back together for the original post-production crew to score, cut, and finish visual effects. Now, the score, Junkie XL has already done the score. If you do add a couple more scenes, you might need a little bit more, but for the most part, the entire Snyder Cut has been scored. We've heard that from Zack Snyder. We've heard that from Junkie XL himself. It was very early Monday morning in November when Zack Snyder and his wife and producing partner Deborah received a call. To be more precise, it was 7 a.m. But more importantly, it was the day after the 2nd anniversary of the release of Justice League, a movie that Snyder was forced to exit due to a family emergency, which was then subsequently reshot and retooled by replacement director Joss Whedon. In the time since its release, something unusual happened. A growing movement of fans, rallied by the hashtag release the Snyder Cut, had called agitated petition, even bought a Times Square's billboard and chartered a plane to fly a banner over Comic-Con for Snyder's version to be released. And on the film's 2nd anniversary, the hashtag had its biggest day ever, with even the movie stars Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck adding their voices on Twitter. And this was huge. It was trending all day long, and it was all a build-up. Every day, they were featuring a different character leading up to this. And this shows you, this is why this is a moment for fandom. This is nothing, very little to do whether you really support Zack Snyder or care about his DCEU. It is about fandom and having a voice, having your voice be heard. And that is what is happening with the Release the Snyder Cut movement. So here, the morning after, was their agent saying that Toby Emmerich, chairman of Warner Brothers, was acknowledging the movement and more importantly was willing to accede. This is real. People out there want it. Would you guys ever consider doing something? Was what Emmerich was saying. I have chills just reading this. Imagining Zack Snyder, a dude who has done so much right, who has done so much good, having this person finally call out and reach out and say, we want what you did after all these years of people trying to tell him to go F himself. It's incredible. The answer to Emmerich's question, a whispered about secret for months, was revealed Wednesday when Zack Snyder confirmed at the end of an online screening of his 2013 movie Man of Steel that his version of Justice League was indeed real and it will be coming to HBO Max, the Warner Brother digital streaming service launching May 27th and is expected to debut in 2021. It's currently unclear what form Snyder's cut will take. Like I said, so Snyder held I want to go down to this actually right now. I want to go down to the screening. The Snyders put together a presentation and in early February invited a select groups of executives from Warner Brothers, HBO Max, and DC to their house in Pasadena to screen Zack's little scene version that was shown in black and white. The number of executives in the room were more than a dozen in attendance, from Warner Brothers' Emmerich, Carolyn Blackwood, and Walter Hamada to HBO Max's Kevin Riley, Sarah Aubrey, and Sarah Dewey to DC's Jim Lee showed the importance of the potentially extensive undertaking. At his presentation after the screening, Snyder outlined ideas for not just releasing the cut, but the concept of episodes and cliffhangers. So if they wanted to release it in something like a 6-episode format, which makes sense for streaming, we know how the streaming wars are. They like to string people along. That would make tons of sense if that's how they wanted to do it. Bottom line, Zack Snyder's cut is real. It is happening. Now, right here, although the cost of the endeavor is unclear, one source has pegged the effort in $20 million, another source has said $30 million. The parties involved had no comment. Now, this is referring to an interview that someone gave saying that it would take $20 to $30 million if they were to release Zack Snyder's version in theater. Now, the reason that that is different is because that 20 to 30 million isn't just talking about to shore up the visual effects that would be needed. It's like, hey, if we release this another movie in theaters, we would still have to pay all these dividends to the actors because it's like another movie that they have been a part of. You would still get all the revenue from that movie. That's where that 20 to 30 million dollars factors in. We have no idea what it's going to cost to just do the couple visual effects and the few scenes that Zack Snyder would like to shoot. We have no idea at this point. That's all speculation. It's based off a really old interview. But at the end of the day, and you should really go read this. You should really go read this. He said, it will be an entirely new thing, and especially talking to those who have seen the released movie, a new experience apart from that movie, Zack Snyder tells The Hollywood Reporter, noting that to this day, he has not watched the original version in theaters. You probably saw 1/4 of what I did, the director notes, basing his judgment on what has been shared with him of Whedon's vision. He's never watched Justice League himself. It's incredible. If you don't know the entire story, I highly recommend you look into it. Zack had a family tragedy, was forced out. Warner Brothers wanted to change everything about this film. What Warner Brothers did was despicable and disgusting, and I think it really took AT&T taking over at Warner Brothers for them to come to the table and say, hey, we made a mistake. We'd like to see what you originally had. And for myself, for so many others, this is a huge moment. This is a huge day that as much as we fought, we weren't sure if it was ever going to get announced. We knew it was out there. We knew what Zack had shot. We knew what he could do. We heard from Jason Momoa. We heard from Ray Fisher, what he had been told. We heard from people involved. Like, that's the whole thing. This entire thing. All these people out there who said that it would never happen. People were listening to them instead of people directly involved with the project. Instead of listening to Zack. Instead of listening to Jay Oliva. Instead of listening to Jason Momoa, who said he had seen it. Instead of listening to people close to this project, you decided that you were going to listen to these freaking Access journalists who, for some reason, hate the idea of Zack Snyder's cut being released. Whether it's because they hate Snyder or hate his movies, I don't know. But everyone seemed to have this agenda that was against the actual truth. But a lot of us felt it. We knew what was out there. We listened to the people that we trusted, not these Access, not these shills that have gone on to then back up everything they said before, reverse course, and now they're saying, yeah, it's happening, guys. All the while they're deleting what they had said before. Despicable for some of these people. It's an incredible day for fandom because this means that your voice can be heard even by Warner Brothers, even by AT&T, these huge multi-million-dollar corporations. Your voice matters. When people make enough noise for a long enough period of time and show you care about something, it matters. And what's happened today, I feel so happy for Zack and Deborah Snyder after everything they have been through for this to happen. And I cannot wait to finally see this thing, to see something that Zack Snyder wanted us to see all along. And if for some reason you're one of those people that just have a hate boner for Zack Snyder and don't want this movie to be released, or really upset, really salty that this is finally happening, you can fuck right off. I don't care. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash the like button, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there. The Snyder Cut is coming, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.